So my partner and I just bought this little spot of land with the hopes of eventually turning it into a homestead. And I don't know about Sarah, but I definitely had this vision in my head that once we signed the paperwork, the rest of the world would sort of just pause, and then we'd be able to devote all of our time to working on the property. But it turns out our day jobs didn't go anywhere, and so we're stuck just making a few hours here and there after work and on the weekends. And so far, our first week, we've spent clearing trash and removing some of the invasives that have taken over the land. Like this English ivy. Please don't plant this. Or this privet. Also, please don't plant this. In fact, if you see it anywhere, please remove it. If you see it in a park or in your neighbor's backyard, just rip it out and tell them we told you it was okay to do. Just make sure that you properly ID it first. And speaking of IDing plants...
Want me to show you ID pecan?
Yeah.
That is a pecan. So, I'm assuming this is a pecan tree. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know very well from, bark and stuff.
And what are you doing right now?
Getting all the English ivy vines off of it so it can stop getting suffocated.
And with all this work, where are we storing our tools? Well, we're storing them here, and here, and here, by this cart. Now, Sarah says that I should turn the cart over so it doesn't fill up with rain. But I usually just don't because I'm lazy. And then this happens.
We don't need to turn it upside down, she says. Well, now I get to turn it upside down anyway. Save me.
Whoops. Sorry, Sarah. You didn't need that, right? Okay, obviously we need a real place to store our tools. And ultimately we'll have a gorgeous big workshop right here. But until then, let's just get a shed and plop it down somewhere. So we turn to Facebook Marketplace. Not a fan of Zuckerberg, but unfortunately it is a good place to find cute old vintage metal sheds. None of these are quite working, but then this popped up. Okay, this is not actually the real one that popped up because unfortunately the seller deleted the original listings and I don't have any of his pictures, but it looked very much like this. How weird and cool is that? It's actually called a Quonset hut, and they are really nifty. So normally with metal buildings, you've got framing and siding. With this, the panels themselves are all structural, which I think is really neat. And just get a load of that shape. I feel like we're on Mars. Okay, so the seller had actually already partly disassembled it, but even if it were like fully broken down into the smallest pieces, it would still be way too much to fit into Sarah's truck. So the plan, rent a U-Haul, drive down, finish disassembling, which surely won't take that long, and then pack it all up and drive back to Slag Hollow, unload it, and then call it a day. Let's see how that went. And I'd like to note that we did book our U-Haul in advance. Just, you'll see. Wait, wrong way. Okay, we're trying to pick up our U-Haul to get the Quonset hut. How many U-Hauls have we been to today, Sarah? 3? Yes. Okay, third try is the charm. We got this. Third try was the charm. We got what we needed. Learned to not trust the advertised size. Doing awesome. Thank you. There was no doubt which one of us was going to drive, so yeah, thank you. And we ended up with a 20-footer because, pro tip, a 15-foot truck does not actually have 15-foot floor room. It's actually about 12.5. So, or yeah, liars. And while it was an hour-long drive, at least we got to see some, cute little old barns along the way. Okay, much later than planned, but we finally made it. So the panels, like you can see, are in these huge sections, and that's not the only pile. But before we tackle those, let's just get in all of the base plates and any other weird pieces. Yeah, glad we did the 20 foot.
Yeah.
Slide 3.
Will they fit this way?
All right, time to do the panels.
On the right side.
So it was rocky at first, and it took us a little while to figure out a good system for breaking these down. But thankfully, Sarah and I usually work really well together. Usually.
Wait, oh, there ain't nothing there.
I thought you said 1 second. I'm on. Sorry, that was
You
bad.
on?
I'm on now. Yes, sir.
And it's not just undoing bolts, it's undoing bolts on enormous floppy sheets of metal that you have to maneuver around and get into weird positions to even get to.
On. Getting hungry.
We'll get Taco Bell on the way back.
We did eventually get in our groove and get a really good streamlined system down. We were churning through the bolts. But I had no idea how many bolts there were gonna be. Like, I had brought a single yogurt container thinking that might be enough, and oh my god, was I wrong. There were 20 gajillion million bolts instead. So even though we were hammering these out, it still took forever.
Hold on. 1 second.
What are you doing?
Helping to dismantle the Quonset hut.
Are you having fun?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, get over here and help me. We've got daylight burning.
Okay.
All right, how much more do we have left to do?
2 more 3-fers, so 6 rows of bolts.
Can we do it before the sun sets?
Probably not, but we'll find out.
This doesn't look like it would be hours and hours of work, but somehow it was.
Okay. On. Okay. And then on the last one. Okay. Last bolt out. Okay.
Here.
Alright. Let me grab this stuff so we don't leave it.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh no! The screws fell in. Okay. Alright, last panel.
At this point, we are so cold and tired and hungry.
Of course we do it the clunkiest. Alright, 1, 2,
So
3.
the original plan would have been to drive all of this back to Slag Hollow, unload, and then return the U-Haul. There was absolutely no chance we were doing that.
1, 2, 3. That'll work. That's good.
Okay, you gotta get the run door.
Roll up door.
Yeah. Did we beat the sun?
I can still see some red.
Well, I can't see you, so.
We decided to make unloading a tomorrow morning Liz and Sarah problem, and tonight, Liz and Sarah, just get Taco Bell and go to bed. So even though this day definitely didn't go to plan, it still had a pretty happy ending. Thanks for watching.
Oh, don't pull that, just in case you don't know. Wait until we're ready to run.
Motherfucker.
Wait, this is why we need the little tripod.
It's not very fast, gonna fall.
It's fine.
Wanna get up here? Let's do it last. Or no.